Hey everyone, welcome to the Morning Grind presented by rotogrinders.com. It's Monday. It's August 15th. We have 9 baseball games and CJ, you're back from the Fantasy Fix back over to the real podcast here.
I had a great time filling in for Dan, but certainly it feels good to be back in my home. I was worried. You brought in such a good guest Friday. I was worried that I might not get my spot back.
Oh, Dave crushed it on Friday too. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know I had a pretty nice sweat on Friday night. So it was a fun slate, but I like picking on Dan when I get a chance. So I got to say, this is the real podcast.
Oh, hey, I'm as long as he doesn't listen to this one, which I'm pretty confident he doesn't. We can get away with saying things like that, right?
Yeah, he definitely listens, and I get texts all the time, so it's okay. We'll get a text from Dan, no big deal. But he knows what's up, right?
Yeah, I think he knows. That's why he gives us all the baseball games.
Yes, that's right. And today, Fantasy Draft, our sponsor here on the Morning Grind podcast, they have their 5-day survive in advance, and this has just become one of my favorite tournaments in the industry. And I don't just say that because they sponsor the podcast, but I just enjoy this. And you're only beating 30% of the field every day, and if you make it to day 5, you're at least doubling your buy-in. So it's just a fun type of contest. And a couple of days last week, I had pitchers that got rocked, and I still advanced. And I know you did well as well.
Yeah, actually, I didn't have a single pitcher get rocked last week, knock on wood, because there's a few guys today that I know are kryptonites that could come back to bite me. But certainly it was kind of nice. I didn't really have to sweat any of the days to advance. That was a nice surprise for once.
If you guys haven't checked out fantasydraft.com, use promo code GRINDERS. That way you get incentives here at RotoGrinders for Fantasy Draft for free for a year. And you get a 100% deposit bonus up to $600. I get at least 5 tweets a week. Stevie, I'm so glad you talked me into signing up at Fantasy Draft. It's such a fun site. So make sure you guys check them out. We're here to talk some baseball, and I know you had fun today. You were back home in New England and went to the Fantasy Fest.
Yeah, it was fun. I was representing RotoGrinders there. It was good being on the panel, and we got some pretty good questions, and it was a lot of fun. I think Matt DeBerry and I had our disagreements on a couple guys, but I think the people learned a lot of information from it and could take what they wanted from it.
Bunch of stuff that's happened over the weekend. Real quick, because we only have 9 games. What are your thoughts here with DraftKings and FanDuel having these season-long type games?
You really couldn't have done snake drafts? Really?
That's kind of where I was at too. I like the snake drafts, and I think they're fun. And there's been a couple sites that have done them in the past and just never got. They weren't on a bigger scale like a FanDuel or DraftKings. I would have loved to see what they could do.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of us, we were sitting in the green room and we didn't know what the DK announcement was, and we're like, man, we hope it's not snakes and leagues. And we're sitting in there eating lunch, and it was leagues, and we're just like, rolling our eyes. DK people are right there, so you have to keep it on the quiet. But you really could have done snake drafts. Really, you have the technology from Draft Street. Whatever, maybe next year.
Who knows? There's so many ways that they could go with the industry, so there's always things that are going to do. The one thing that I do like here is it's bringing more season-long guys onto FanDuel and DraftKings. You're 0-5, 0-6 after the first few weeks, and you have injuries. You're going to try out that daily game, and that's what we want.
Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, funny, a couple of my buddies were like, we might move our season-long over to daily, and I was just like, you really don't want to do that, but we can do that if you like.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk some baseball. That's what people are here for. Toronto at New York, R.A. Dickey, Nathan Eovaldi. All right, let's start with one of the bigger totals of the day in a game that should have some runs scored here.
You got a total for this? I don't have one. What is it?
I see 9.
Oh boy, yeah, Dickey in New York.
Is it Eovaldi or is it Chad Green?
I haven't seen. I don't even have a pitcher for this game for the Yankees.
It's Chad Green. My bad. Eovaldi got placed on the DL Friday. I don't know why FanDuel still has him, but yeah, it's Chad Green.
Well, God, I'm gonna have some R.A. Dickey exposure then. I mean, you think that realistically he's gonna get some run support behind him, and the Yankees against knuckleballers are a thing, and their best hitter is now against the knuckleballs now on Texas, and their second best just got released. There's no one left that can hit a knuckleball that we've seen. Maybe these young kids can, but I doubt they can.
The only thing that worries me is 95 degrees at first pitch here.
Yeah. I mean, but if I could get the wind blowing out, I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah, it's kind of cross the field right now from what we're seeing. We're early in the day. We don't have any interest here in Chad Green against our Toronto Blue Jays, right?
Oh, no. Load up on your Blue Jays.
All right, let's talk bats. Toronto going into New York. The big left-handed bat here for the Blue Jays is Michael Saunders. Is he a guy we can look at in all formats?
Yeah, I think he definitely is one of those guys you're going to have to find a way to fit in here. 7,800 on draft.
Shh, don't take my dude.
Sorry.
First fantasy draft play of the day. Michael Saunders, 7,800 here in this matchup against Chad Green. Chad Green, 469 WOBA in a very small sample size to lefties this season.
I started to say like we're gonna have to pay to fit him in because I hadn't looked at the price and I just assumed he'd be above 10K and I saw 78. I knew really quickly where you were going with that.
you know how we that's how we roll, CJ. It's fine. And then we're looking at the other guys here. Donaldson is up there in the $10,000 range, but E5 only 9,200. That seems really playable there as well.
This Toronto stack is going to be the most popular of the day at these prices. Like I just don't know how people are not going to play them. You know, on Fantasy Draft and DraftKings, like this is the stack that you have to play. Like you got Melvin Upton at punt prices, 6,400. Just I don't know how you're going to not play him.
Yeah, I'm with you there when it comes to the Blue Jays. I'm a big fan of the Blue Jays stack here as well. And the pricing on Fantasy Draft and DraftKings very doable. On FanDuel, like Travis Saunders, I think they're pretty easy to fit on FanDuel as well.
Yeah, I haven't looked at their FanDuel pricing. I actually was trying to load it up very quickly, but my computer decided to be very slow. Because Toronto's been overpriced for a while. 43. 34. I mean, they're fairly priced. I don't think you're getting much of a discount other than maybe Michael Saunders over there. But I think you're paying full price. But on a shorter slate, you definitely can't be having 0 Toronto stacks out there.
All right, none of these Yankees have faced R.A. Dickey. Even how long Dickey's been in the league, none of the Yankees bats have faced him. What are we doing with the Yankees here?
I won't play a single Yankee. Pass.
All right. The only way I'd play them is a stack. Like you're hoping the knuckleball's not moving and you're just stacking them.
Yeah, I've just seen too many times where people play the Yankees against knuckleballers, and I roll the knuckleballer out there, and it just works every time. So if I'm due to get rocked one of these times, that's fine. I'm just going to roll out Dickey. I don't care what the situation looks like.
Kansas City at Detroit, Ian Kennedy, Daniel Norris. I know Ian Kennedy's a soft spot for you. Will you play him here in this matchup against Detroit?
I absolutely will be playing him in this matchup. We've seen the Tigers strike out a ton against right-handed pitching lately, and Ian Kennedy can get Ks. Now, could he give up 3 solo shots in the process? Absolutely. But the strikeout upside is there, and I'm going to be rostering him today in this matchup against Detroit because people are going to be scared of the matchup.
I think the thing that we need to note here is, like, there is no safe pitcher on the board today.
No, there's not one. Like Max Scherzer's in Coors. Like, you can't call him safe.
Yeah, like you could still play him, and we'll talk about that when we get to Coors Field, but there is no safe pitcher on this slate. So a guy like Ian Kennedy that has the strikeout upside, like CJ's saying, the guy has a 26% strikeout rate against righties this season. The problem is he gives up a lot of hard contact to righties, so where he has the upside, he definitely doesn't have a floor. I don't care what you say. I don't see any floor here for him.
No, absolutely not. He's pitched good in 2 starts against them, though. 12 innings, only 3 earned runs, 10 Ks. He's pitched good in 2 starts against them this year. So, and this lineup's a little weaker than the one he saw earlier in the year. So I mean, it's definitely boom or bust. That's for sure.
What's your thoughts here on Daniel Norris?
I was just trying to decide. I don't know if I can really go there. I want to, but just inconsistent with the Ks. Kansas City can kind of slap you around. You're not getting them at like a 5K price tag. You're at 7K on DraftKings, so 14K on draft. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go elsewhere.
All right, let's talk bats. We'll start with the visiting team. Is there anybody that stands out to you here for Kansas City?
No, that's a kind of a situation I wouldn't touch. There's a lot of high-power offenses on this slate, and kind of a couple sneaky ones too. Like Kansas City is just one you really can't be playing on this 9-game slate.
No interest for Lorenzo Cain here in this lefty-righty matchup?
Nah, not really.
All right. One other name that I'll throw at you is, I guess it's Cuthbert. Chelser Cuthbert. I don't know. Like, this guy, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but he's been really usable against lefties this season. It's a small sample size, but 383 WOBA, decent ISO, really solid OPS and on base percentage. Like, I think he's in play if he's in the 2 spot, and you get him at a discount on most sites. Not FanDuel.
Yeah, I think he's in play, sir. I'm just not super wild about the idea.
And one other name I'm going to throw out to you. I might actually like the Royals today. Paulo Orlando has been hitting leadoff here, and I just love this guy.
Power, Stevie. Stevie, here's the problem. Where's the power?
There is no power. You're right.
Well, that's why you can't stack them. That's why there's just too many spots of like. There's too many guys here that we're going to talk about. They're just like so blow up prone. Like a stack's going to win this tonight because one of these pitchers is giving up 10. I don't know who it's going to be, but someone's giving up 10 in 3 innings today.
You're building. What's the max here in the survive and advance? 5, 4. So you're building
with the expansion.
It might be.
It's 6. I just registered it.
Okay. So you're building 6 teams. I'll probably go 3 and 3 here. I'll probably play a really safe, and it'd probably have some of these guys like Orlando and Lorenzo Cain because they're under 8K. So like in that kind of format, I don't mind them. I can't.
Yeah, I don't mind them in like a cash format. I'm just not really going to have a ton of exposure to them. There's just too many other spots. I think I'd rather attack for certain other off-the-board reasons, which we'll talk about. We'll get there.
Anybody against Ian Kennedy, or are we stacking Detroit only here?
It's only a stack because if he gets lit up, it's going to be because of the home run ball. I mean, you could try. Maybe he gives up 1 home run ball, and you can try to find the one guy. But is that really where you want to take your stand on this slate? Probably not.
I don't think you can do it because of the pricing. I think you have to stack them. I don't think you can play them as one-offs because they're so expensive.
Yeah, why is it so expensive?
Well, Detroit's been hot. They actually have been hitting the ball really well.
Yeah, I mean, Miggy is having a Miggy. I mean, I told you about this last week. Like, I'm always late to the beat party. I finally rostered the guy who goes over 3. Then he gets hot the next 3 days. But I mean, I don't mind it. I just think I'd rather play the stack.
I think I'm with you. I'm playing the stack there. San Diego at
Tampa. Who would actually play in the stack? Hold on. You know who would actually play in the stack if he gets this stupid lineup bump for no reason? Casey McGahee. If he bets second again, I'd actually roster him because nobody will roster him against a righty.
Right?
What?
It had to be because they were facing a lefty.
I'm just saying if they happen to bat him second because they mean Kennedy kind of has problems against right-handed power, I'm not fading him in my stack.
San Diego at Tampa, Drew Smiley, Luis Perdomo. This is in Tampa, and man, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think both these pitchers are in play.
I think Drew Smiley's going to get way overowned based on what he did, how lucky he got in that Toronto start, based off what we saw San Diego do today against the Mats. I think Drew Smiley is going to be the overowned pitcher on the slate that I want nothing to do with here. I'm going to call him dreadful. That got me in trouble last start, but certainly he's not as good as people think he is.
Yeah, I fully faded Mats because I don't like taking lefties against San Diego. They're ranked number 1 in WRC Plus against lefties for a reason, and I can't do it, man. I can't take Smiley here. Like, he has upside, don't get me wrong, but the floor is just way too low.
Here's the case for playing a lefty against the Padres. This isn't the same Padres team that kind of created that double one WRC plus. You lost Kemp. They're playing those lefties more, even against lefties. You're not getting that right-handed heavy line that you were getting earlier in the season. So, like, that's the case to play Smiley, is that it's not the same team that was crushing lefty earlier in the season. It's just not a case that I'm going to be using. But there's certainly a case there to be made.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on the lineup. Like, if Schimpf and Dickerson and these guys are still in the lineup, I know Schimpf was out against Mats, but if they're all in the lineup and if there's a bunch of lefties, I probably will have a little bit more interest in Smiley. But when you look at Smiley's numbers, man, like, he struggled with the long ball against lefties this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have way too much Luis Perdomo on this slate. Just going to have all the Luis Perdomo. He's cheap everywhere. It's Tampa. I stream pitchers against Tampa. That's not a secret. I can get him at 6,100 on FanDuel. He's 5K on DraftKings. He's 10K on draft. Like, I'm just going to probably end up close to all in and have some Tampa hedge stacks, call it a day.
Yeah, people are going to see these numbers. You're going to see Perdomo at 393 WOBA against righties. They're going to think, oh, it's a really right-handed heavy lineup. But when we look at it a little bit deeper, this guy's a 65% ground ball rate against righties and a 417 BABIP.
Yeah, it's just he's been super, super unlucky. Kind of like, I mean, I know we're not Michael Pineda fans, but this feels like the Michael Pineda case, except with actually not making mistakes. It's just like a 20% home run fly ball rate. Like, that's just going to regress.
Oh, Pineda. All right.
He only gives up 21% fly balls. Yeah, I love Perdomo.
All right, let's talk bats here. San Diego against Smiley, Will Myers, and your boy Adam Rosales. I have interest.
Yeah, it depends on the lineup spot for me. The price on fantasy draft, I think, is pretty fair though for those type of guys. He is. Why can't I find him? I'm clicking on the wrong team. What's his price?
Your boy Rosales is 6,300 over on draft. We like it in the 5K range.
Yeah, I would definitely rather him in like the 5K range for sure. But I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind it for a tournament or anything. Like, I think I would rather take a shot on Dickerson at 6K. I know as crazy as that sounds. Or Blash at 4,800. That's a righty. Blash is a right-hander.
I think he's a lefty, actually.
Yeah, give me Blash at 4,800. No, he's a righty. Give me Blash at 4,800.
Yeah, I like Blash, too. I've been playing him from time to time. I think that I play San Diego more than everybody else. That's why I had a monster day. That's why I had a monster day on Friday. Shimp with those 2 home runs. Like, I ran that to the bank, dude. Yeah,
I had Shimp on 85% of team. It was really beautiful, including a Red Sox tack where my buddy was like, don't play Pedroia, play Shimp and Sandy Leon, which was just like a plus 50 per point move. So shout out to him. He knows who he is. He listens to that. I still owe you big time for that one.
Oh, Sandy Leon. I'm starting to become a fan of Sandy Leon. I can't lie.
It's just great. He's like batting 400 for no reason. Just going along batting 400 for reasons no one understands. Just plodding along.
I don't understand it either. As a Red Sox fan and a guy that loves and watches baseball, I don't understand it. So I have no idea what's going on with that. But what about the Tampa bats here? I'm with you on Perdomo.
You're stacking them, right? Because either Perdomo's going to get lit up like he does past, give up like 10 hits, get BABIP throughout all over the yard, or he's going to pitch a gem. So for me, it's a stack or it's a stay away.
I'm with you. Miami at Cincinnati, Brandon Finnegan, David Phelps. Any interest in either one of these guys?
Not in Cincinnati. We're hot and muggy. No, thank you.
I'm with you there. Phelps is starting to build that arm strength up. We've seen him go 4 1/3. We've seen him go 5 innings in his last start against the Giants. So going to be a guy that we're going to pay attention to just because of, pitches in general. But this is not the spot. And we have to do a, sad tier. Stanton out for the season. That just makes me so sad.
Can we roster Finnegan here? I blew him off immediately, but the Marlins offense hasn't exactly been the epitome of hot. I know they did against James Shields, but that really doesn't count. No Stanton. Ozuna's been cold for 2 months. Are we really going to be worried about Real Muto and Prado? Those are kind of the right-handed bats we're worried about, right?
Prado's legit. Like, he doesn't have any upside whatsoever, but Prado's legit.
Like, you're really going to fade a pitcher for Martin Prado?
I'm just not a fan of Finnegan in general, though. And like you said, this ballpark, like any righty they throw out there, Finnegan has a 41% hard contact rate to righties this year, and this game's in Cincinnati.
The total's 8.5. Why is it so low? Like, that's a immediate red flag.
85 degrees with 80% humidity.
Yeah, and the total's 8.5. What do they know that I don't?
So this is a total we watch.
And the answer is the Miami lineup is just terrible.
They are terrible. The lineup is terrible. I just don't think I can do Finnegan. I would roster Perdomo 10 out of 10 times.
If you've got $5 Q on DraftKings for the live final, and you're playing a bunch of teams, throw a couple Finnegans in there. It'll be like 1%, and he has got the upside to win you things.
All right. If I'm playing the $5 Q and I'm trying to beat, 10, 15,000 people?
Yeah.
It's $5. I can actually probably stomach $15 worth of Finnegan there.
yeah, that's kind of where it's just like he's pitched. He's had a couple decent starts today. Like I know he's just got like this walk problem, but it's not like Miami is high in the walk category. Last time I checked, I'd have to go double up check that, but pretty sure they don't walk a ton.
All right, let's talk. Let's talk bats here. We'll start with Miami. It's really Ozuna and Prado for me.
Yeah, and it's just like Ozuna's just been off cold forever. Like you can't even get me interested in Real Muto, which is just kind of like why I'm just like if I don't like any of the bats, I really just can't be dismissing the pitcher as fast as I did.
Well, the thing is with Ozuna now, like we have to consider him because he's going to move up to that 4 spot. When you think,
yeah, but he's also got like less protection than he just did. Like, how can that be an improvement? Losing like a beast hitter in front of you.
yeah, look, listen, you're making a point for Finnegan, but I'm still going to have interest in Ozuna here.
All right,
And Prado,
can I bring up one more point. One more point for Finnegan. 5th lowest ISO in baseball against left-handed pitcher. You're Miami Marlins, and they just lost with Giancarlo.
listen, I've already given
0.7% walk rate.
I've already
5th
given
worst. If you give way too much of a platform for Brandon Finnegan, is that what you're about to tell me?
No, I am. Let's talk Cincinnati bats. Going up here against. I'm trying to save you because you know what's going to happen now. Like he's going to get like 7 hits, 4 earned runs, finish like 3-4 innings.
It's totally possible. The line feels wrong. The total feels low. Everything's kind of just pointing in the direction of Mr. Brandon Finnegan.
Watch this line shift down throughout the day. Then I'll have interest in Finnegan, and like I'll be tilting on Twitter with you later.
Yeah, if Cincinnati closes as the favorite, you have to play Finnegan in a tournament team. It's not that crazy to think it might happen either.
Is there any reason we shouldn't play Billy Hamilton every day right now?
I was just thinking that I was just going to try to pull up the Jacob Realmuto stolen base stats. Like one of the days I'll just remember to pull up my stolen base data sheet like before the podcast, before we Billy Hamilton, because like that's always the first guy that can steal bases on the East Coast that we always get to. I mean, he's just been so hot, but he's also dealing with that hand injury where he like almost got pulled out of the lineup today. Like what was the deal with that? Like I wasn't all around locks.
He jammed his thumb sliding into third base, I think, last night or the night before. And then he came out and went 3 for 4, and his first hit was a double. Like, I don't know. I'm not looking into that too much. And Real Muto, 35 stolen bases allowed, 19 caught stealing. That's actually not terrible.
Yeah, but don't forget, we don't play Billy Hamilton against Yachty, and then he destroys Yachty too. Maybe people will just stay away because JT Realmuto has a good record of throwing out guys, and Billy can steal anyone. He's kind of like the elite hitter versus good pitcher. Like the elite hitter can hit a home run, so you probably should fade the guy.
Yeah, he's insane right now. It's just incredible how good Billy Hamilton is right now, and I don't think he's been over like 15% owned in forever. So I like Hamilton. I like Joey Votto. I think both these guys are really viable options here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not paying that DraftKings or fantasy draft price tag on Billy Hamilton though.
What about
Just
Scott?
Good chance.
Scott Schebler here, 6K on draft. Any interest there?
I like Scott Schebler. It's an interesting matchup for him. I don't mind it as like a one-off in your utility if you're trying to find a cheaper guy to fit in. Like he's certainly better than a lot of the options around here at this price tag. But I think like a lot of guys would probably go to like a David Dahl at this price point or an Albert Pujols at this price point before they go. Or even Aaron Judge will probably get some love at this price point before they go that way. So he'll definitely be grand, so I don't mind it.
All right. Oakland at Texas. Perez against Detweiler. This game has the same total as Coors Field.
I'd rather play Coors Field in this game.
Well, I think
I know that's a hot take.
Yeah, that's a super hot take.
I don't like. No, I think it really is. Like, I think the Texas game is going to have higher ownership than Coors today.
You really think so?
Yeah. This is the spot where the Rockies come in a single-digit ownership every time. Oh, yeah, they come in a single-digit ownership in this spot.
Oh, yeah. The Rockies will be alone, but the Nationals are going to be super chalk.
Yeah, but Oakland and Texas, like, people love stacking against Martin Perez. They're going to love stacking against Ross Detweiler. They're going to find all sorts of ways to scheme stack it. The stacks kind of correlate. Texas is strong in the outfield. Oakland's stronger on the infield. Like, this is definitely one of those ways you're gonna see this game double stacked in every shape, manner, or form here.
So our boy Perez, that we don't like picking on, he's been so hot or cold over his last like 6 or 7 starts. And like, I'm not playing him because he never has strikeout upside, so I don't ever roster him, but I don't like stacking against him. I might actually have some interest here. Oakland getting a huge ballpark shift. I think Oakland bats are actually in play.
I'm never stacking. I mean, I just here's the problem with the Oakland bats. Like Danny Valencia will be through. Chris Davis will be through the roof. Like Chris Davis is a guy that I roster when he's gonna be 5%, and anytime he's gonna be chalked, I just peace out. So for me, there's just no chance I'm rostering Oakland bats here, and I know it's gonna be a hot take, but he's actually been cutting back on the walk rates. He hasn't given up a home run in 3 starts. It's been a problem before that. Like if he's not walking guys, he's not giving up home runs. That's not a good equation for a stack here.
No, I don't think I'm going to stack. I just think that I'm going to look for guys that are cheap. And looking at draft, there's not many of them. Healy, if he cracks the lineup and he's in a decent spot at 5,700, I have some interest there. Smolinski's a guy that I love playing against lefties, but his price, why is he 7,200?
Because people caught on that he's good against lefties and they played him at a high ownership, and the algorithm said, okay, we're going to stop this.
It's a joke. And the Texas pricing, like, they're priced up like they're in Coors Field.
Yeah, and they're going to have ownership against Ross Detweiler. People don't trust Ross Detweiler as far as they can throw him.
Detweiler's not good. I don't care what he did in his last start. He's not good at baseball.
No, he's not good at baseball, but I also don't think he is. Let's play a 15% Texas team that's overpriced against idea. Like I would much rather play the Rockies and Coors and go and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think Texas.
Like Detweiler's a guy that had talent. Like he's got talent. He was a first-round pick. Like sure, he never panned out, but this isn't exactly like like never had any talent, never had any upside. Like the Texas prices are just too high for me.
Yeah, and when you look at Detweiler's stats, like career stat-wise, it's his home run per 9 is under 1. His hard contact rate throughout his career is about 27%. So, like, he's always struggled with control. Look at his walk rate. That's always been his issue is control. His Sierra is up there. Like, so I'm with you where I might not pay this price tag to stack them, but I don't think I'm going to, like, instantly fade Texas here.
No, I'm not saying, like, if you want to play Texas, go ahead. I just see 3 good hitting environments, right? That's our next 3 games. This is Texas, we got Colorado, and we got Arizona.
Oh,
which game do I think's got the lowest ownership? And I think you and I are both going to agree it's going to be the Mets at Arizona.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
I would much rather attack that game.
We're going to talk about that Arizona game. Don't you worry. But before we get to that Arizona game, we have to talk about Washington at Colorado. Jorge De La Rosa, Max Scherzer. All right, so Coors Field, you don't ever see people roster pitchers in Coors Field. We talked about it with Cole Hamels, I think, last week. I think you were on with that podcast with me. Max Scherzer, $21,000. We're used to seeing him up in that $26,000 range. Is that enough of a discount to roster Max Scherzer at Coors Field?
I think it is.
I'm with you. Okay, so let's be realistic. 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 8 strikeouts.
Yeah,
and
that's about right.
Probably 6 or 7 innings because Max usually pitches until his arm falls off.
The thing is, the nice part about it is, in terms of just he's going to get a lot of run support. So I feel like really good about the win. Like I normally don't target Jorge De La Rosa and Coors, but the Nationals right-handed bats are just so good. And I was trying to see if Max has any history in Coors. I was trying to see if he pitched there last year because I was just kind of curious. I'm still looking it up, but I just think he's got enough upside here, and on a slate where outside of guys like Ian Kennedy and Robbie Ray, who we'll talk about, like there's not the guy. Like Scherzer can go win you this slate.
Yeah, and when you're looking at like Max, there's a lot of fastballs. Like his fastballs are almost 3-1 his second pitch, which is a slider. So fastballs, sliders, changeups, they don't really affect like a curveball or a sinker does at Coors Field. So his pitch types are actually not terrible for Coors Field.
Yeah, what did we say? 7 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks. Is that what we said?
7 innings,
For
3 earned runs, 7, 8 Ks.
His first start in Coors, 6 innings, 3 runs, 7 Ks.
We might actually know what we're talking about. All right, Jorge De La Rosa, zero interest, right? Like, this is not the spot to target him, and we're going to talk about the Nationals bats.
Yeah, I normally don't stack against him, but this is an exception to the rule spot for me.
All right, when we're talking Washington here, you're not going to get any of these guys at a discount. They're all super expensive. You can't play every single one. Who are you playing here?
Trey Turner.
You know that's who I'm playing.
I'm not fading him. Don't look at it. It's not going to be me. This weekend was I'm going to play Trey Turner and Billy Hamilton on every single lineup, and then I'll figure it out from there. And I'm not changing that approach today.
We were playing Trey Turner because he was facing like Przinsky and Recker, and he went out and hit a home run. Like
that was so great.
That blew my mind.
He hits a triple, which kills the stolen base upside. You're like, why'd you triple? And then his next at bat, he hits a homer, and you're like, all right, I can deal with that.
Yeah, like so. I want Trey Turner as well. He'll hit leadoff here. He's in play. Jason Worth will probably hitting that 2 spot. He mashes lefties. He's in play. The sneaky guy for me is Anthony Rendon. Like, I think that he'll be the under-owned guy here, and he mashes left-handed pitching.
I thought he was going to be hit a home run today, though. He's got 2 home runs in the series. We're not going to get that low ownership we're looking for. Like, I was really like feeding him hitting a home run today, knowing that he was heading in the Coors, but he's not going to sneak one's radar, unfortunately. He's got 6 extra base hits in his last 6. We're not going to get that lucky. The guy who's going to sneak through is Michael Taylor.
At 10-4, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he should be back. Like, I know that he's in the AAA right now, but I would be stunned they didn't bring him up for this series. Like, what do they do? Like, Brian Goodwin is going to have no role. They're facing 2 lefties in this series. I think they're going to swap them, but I don't know for sure. That's what my buddy is the AAA guy for the Nationals. He does the play-by-play. And he told me that Mike Taylor, they think he won't be there tomorrow. So
Wilson Ramos, we love catchers on Fantasy Draft, and this guy is just having just an incredible season.
Yeah, not paying him at 4K on FanDuel, that's for sure. I mean, I say I won't play him. That's not true. I will play him, but I'm certainly paying a premium for it. 10-2 on draft, boy, I don't know. Or 10,000 on draft, boy. I don't know if I can pay that price tag.
332 batting average, 18 home runs. That's not a catcher. Those are not catcher numbers.
Yeah, but I'm not paying a catcher price either, though. I like it. Like if if we did would you rather play Joey Votto or Wilson Ramos?
I don't know. That's actually closer than what it should be.
It's actually close. Wow. You're definitely way higher on Wilson Ramos than I am on this slate. Then Paul Goldschmidt for 700 less versus Bartolo.
Oh, that's easy. That one's easy. I'm definitely taking Goldie there, but like, don't fade Ramos.
Edwin for 800 less. Like I can't do it. I can sit here and talk about being contrarian and playing this game all you want. I'm going to be starting clicking lineups, and I'm going to see Ramos at 10K, or I can play E5 at 92, and Arenado at 92, and Miggy at 92. And Goldie at 93, and it's just not going to happen.
Wilson Ramos has a 313 ISO against lefties this season. Just throwing it out there.
I know. I roster him against every lefty all year long. I know this one could come back and bite me, but I just don't know how I'm going to be able to click there. Will Myers in a revenge game, 8,800?
7 home runs and 80 at-bats against lefties this season.
Revenge, though. Revenge takes – stats don't matter when you have revenge.
I'm just throwing numbers out at you. All right, what are we doing here with the Rockies against Scherzer? We already said that we're expecting 3 earned runs. We're not really getting a discount on most of these guys. Do we play like a one-off on Cargo or Arenado because they're just so good at baseball?
I think if you're going to play the Rockies, you stack them up, right? And you just like, if Scherzer gets rocked, it's kind of like if you end up with a lot of Scherzer, you kind of just stack the Rockies. They're going to be in the single digits for sure. It's Coors Field. It can go off at any point. And it's not like the Nationals bullpen is anything to write home about. Like, if he just gives up a bunch of home runs, which is what he can do from time to time, like, the upside is here for this Rockies team that's going to be in the single digits. So, for me, I'm going to have a Rocky stack. Whether or not I end up rostering Scherzer, the ownership levels are going to be too low for me.
Cargo, 3 for 10 off Scherzer with 3 home runs. Boomer bust, baby.
The BVP. You throw out the BVP. That's a nice one right there. I hadn't looked at the BVP.
Scherzer actually has really good numbers against the Rockies for people that are wondering.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's only thrown 1 start in Colorado, so I'm sure a lot of that was in Detroit and whatnot. So you got to remember the ballpark factor too.
Mets at Arizona, Robbie Ray, Cologne. I feel like we just seen this matchup.
Did we just see it? Yeah, we saw this matchup in New York, didn't we?
Yeah, like it was on the 10th.
Yeah, so it was 5 days ago.
We talked about it on the podcast. It was actually me and Big T. It was last Tuesday. We talked about it on the podcast, and we said, why is Robbie Ray a dog? And the line just incredibly moved. Remember, me and you talked about it on Slack. So this line just was insane how it just moved throughout the day, and then Robbie Ray ended up as the favorite at the end of the day. Do we play him here?
Yeah, on Robbie Ray.
Chase Field.
You got me right.
Chase Field, Robbie Ray against the Mets. Do we go back to the well? It wasn't a bad game by Robbie Ray by any means.
No, it certainly wasn't. Thanks a lot, bullpen. That wasn't very helpful. But
yeah, all you got to do is. Oh, that was so frustrating. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You reminded me about.
No, you're fine. I've interrupted you 5 times today. The timing is off. It's like you go one podcast and our timing is just off a little bit. I got to get back in the swing of things. But yeah, this line also feels off. Why is Arizona only minus 120 here? What am I missing? I feel like this is like the same we talked about this last week. The line just feels off again. I feel like they didn't learn their lesson. I love this game for offense though. I'm definitely going to have a ton of Diamondback exposures. They just ran all over the Mets last series, even against Bartolo, who's not easy to run on. I'm trying to pull up that box score very quickly here, as they ran all over. They had 12 stolen bases in that series against the Mets, and it's just if Arizona runs, they just have so much power upside, and if they're just going to start running too, it's just a really hard team to feed.
Yeah, a lot of us were on Jake Lamb, and so Jake Lamb, we're looking at it, and he hasn't had a hit since the 7th of August. That worries me.
He hit some bullets at Fenway, though. He hit some bullets. I wouldn't get worried about that. As a guy that rostered Jake Lamb every day of the weekend, I was watching a lot of the games. It's not like he was hitting weak ground balls. He was hitting some rockets right at people. I'm not really all that concerned, to be honest.
All right. So let's talk Arizona. We already mentioned Jake Lamb. Goldschmidt's in play here. Outside of those guys, where are we going here?
Well, I'm just trying to see here. Stolen bases, the Diamondbacks. Segura stole 2, Owings stole 1, Bourne stole 1. So for me, I'm going to go back to Segura. I'm going to go back to Owings, who's shortstop eligible and kind of sneaky, been batting in that 6-7 spot. Kind of do a contrarian stack with him, and he's been hitting the ball decently well lately too. So for me, it'd be the righties. It'd be Segura, it'd be Goldschmidt, it'd be Owings. Omos, if he's back in the lineup, those would be the guys that have the most interest in.
I actually don't mind Bourne, too, if he hits in that 2 spot. If he gets that nice lineup bump. Fantasy draft, he's up there a little bit, but let's see where he is on FanDuel. 2,700 on FanDuel. I think he's playable there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But he'll probably bat second again, I would imagine. He did last time, and he stole a bag, too, so I definitely don't mind that at all.
Yeah, he hit a home run at Fenway. I think it was Sunday. But, yeah, don't expect him to hit another home run. But multi-hits in 4 of his last 5 games. Michael Bourne, he wants to be in that lineup right now for Arizona.
Yeah, no, for sure. Playing for his career at this point. So definitely going to keep going. And, look, they're clearly going to run. They show that they're going to run against this team. So that's always gives you a nice floor upside as well.
All right, so Casilla – out of the paternity list, onto the bereavement list, and they don't know when he's going to be back. So that's the only thing that has me a little worried about Robbie Ray. But when we look at it, it didn't matter in that game against New York. I think Goswich caught that game. It might have been.
It was actually Oscar Hernandez. Believe it or not.
Either way, the Mets are just so bad against lefties that I really don't mind Robbie Ray. But
yeah, the only guy you can really consider from the Mets is Wilmer Flores, who homered again today.
Yes, my second fantasy draft play, Wilmer Flores. I actually wrote him up. on Sunday. 7,200 for Flores against a guy that I like. Great ballpark bump. I love Flores here.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming, but I'm fully on board.
I might actually play Ray on some teams and have Flores on the same team.
That better be like your survive teams. You're not doing that in a tournament, Stevie. Stop it.
I would do that in a tournament. I did it last time they played.
But Stevie, that's bad. Bad, Stevie. Come on. Don't do that.
One solo
That's not
shot,
good, Stevie.
10 strikeouts.
No, come on. No, come on, Stevie. You can do better than that. Don't do that. Listeners, don't do that. That's Stevie being drunk here on a Sunday night.
Definitely.
I don't know if there was a NASCAR race or something that he had a bad week on, but that don't do that.
I'm drinking Gatorade for people that are not listening or paying attention. Ty Kelly, he hit in that 2 spot. Any interest there?
I actually rostered him today. I saw him batting in the 2 spot too. I thought that stack was so sneaky. And 2/3 of it did fine, but Ty Kelly not. But I can't. What's the price on Ty Kelly? What are you going to try to sucker me in at Ty Kelly at? 4,800.
That's what I said.
I'm gonna play him in my cash games. Yeah, fine. You win.
All right, we'll move on. I don't want to make you go crazy here. Seattle at LA. Felix Hernandez, Ricky Nolasco. Hernandez in his last start against Detroit looked really good. I kind of wrote him off in that game. It was Verlander on the other side. I had a lot of interest in Verlander, and Hernandez was the one that actually looked really good. And we look back here, less than a couple weeks ago, Felix Hernandez pitched against the Angels at Safeco, 8 innings, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, and he picked up the win there.
Mike Trout,
yes.
That's my commentary on this game. That's my commentary, Mike Trout. In all seriousness, the Felix thing is going to regress quickly. 12 walks those last 3 starts. Those eventually come back to bite you. You can't hang on walking that many forever. That's been way down, and the runs have still been up. He's given up 7 runs on 8 hits. Why? Because of the walks. As soon as he starts giving up hits and stop running like a god in BABIP, don't believe in this little mini stretch. I think the Angels actually are pretty ski here.
But where do you go with Angels outside of Trout? Like, but I'm not saying
Calhoun, Marte, Pujols. There's options there.
The lineups that we've seen over the weekend was just so bad for the Angels.
Yeah, they put Simmons in that pole for reasons I don't understand. Just ignore that. Just assume that guy's going to get out and just pretend he's not there and then just kind of like stack around him. And hopefully Simmons just leans in and gets hit by a pitch or something.
Mike Trout.
Or it's a little dweeber to third.
Mike Trout, 28 for 75, 6 home runs, a bunch of RBIs, but 24 strikeouts. So it's an interesting BVP line for Trout against Felix.
This is what you do when Mike Trout plays Felix Hernandez. Using the RotoGrinders lineup builder, the new and improved RotoGrinders lineup builder, there's this button. It looks like a lock. You click it, and then you move on because Mike Trout will hit a home run for you, and it'll be great times.
Oh, man. I'm definitely not locking Trout. I'll let you lock Trout. I'll let you run with it. And
why wouldn't you lock Mike Trout? He owns him.
I know he owns it. I'm not going to lock a guy with so many offenses on the board.
It's Mike. It's the best. It's the second best player behind Mookie Betts in baseball.
Oh, Mookie. All right. So, any interest in Nolasco here?
No.
All right, my job is just to ask. I don't have any interest either.
By the way, can I just give you the more recent BVP since Felix has become normal since 2014? 13 for 37, 7 extra base hits, 5 home runs. Just play Mike Trout.
Seattle bats here against Nolasco. I don't mind Nelson Cruz as a one-off here, but I don't mind the Seattle stack either.
Nelson Cruz, actually, a guy with some decent BVP against Ricky Nolasco the last 3 years. 2 home runs in 10 at-bats, so I definitely like that call.
And the thing that I find interesting is Nolasco still struggles with that really high hard contact rate to righties. This season, though, he's been decent against lefties. I'm not fading the lefty bats here against him, though.
Yeah, they're probably not my favorite option on the board. Certainly not like one I'd be shying away from if you felt good about it. Kind of just have to see what the weather looks like. The marine layer is there in LA. I haven't looked at what the total is there. See if they're projecting it. It's 8, so look, they're projecting a little bit there. But certainly, I wouldn't mind taking a one-off with the power of Nelson Cruz for sure.
All right, let's talk about this last game. Pittsburgh at San Francisco. Matt Moore, Ryan Vogelsong. Is Matt Moore in play here?
I was going to ask, is Ryan Vogelsong in play?
Well, the reason that I say Matt Moore is if he's in play or not. Sterling Marte dealing with a back injury. If he's out of the lineup, like this lineup doesn't worry me too much.
Yeah, no, I definitely see your point. And if play Polanco, he just strikes out all the time against lefties. It just raises the K floor. The Giants have been hitting decently. Like I've been trying to, like I tried Wade Miley today against the Giants, so I guess that's probably I'm probably a little. Matt Moore is on the Giants now. Stupid trades. I don't know. I don't really like attacking the Pittsburgh team. I kind of just enjoy the fading of it. But I could see playing Matt Moore, I guess.
I don't mind Matt Moore here, and no chance I'm playing Vogelsong.
I get it. He's been decent in 2 starts. The slate's so bad. He's 4,200 on DraftKings. It's so tempting in that ballpark. That just kills all power.
I can't do it. I really can't.
Back-to-back 20-point starts, and he was 8,300 and 7,500 on DraftKings in those starts, and now he's 4,200 in the best ballpark he's gotten. I know the DK algorithm knows all, so be wary, but I have to play him. I have to have a share at 4,200. Just with cores on the board, all those high-powered offenses and Scherzer, I'm going to have a share.
All right, let's talk bats here. Anything stand out to you here for Pittsburgh against Moore?
Nothing that I'm super excited about. I mean, Andrew McCutchen's price is really, really cheap, and he's actually been kind of hitting the ball decently of late. So I could understand playing him at that kind of low price tag, 6,600 on draft. Sign me up.
Third fantasy draft play on the day, Andrew McCutchen, 6,400. I knew you were going to point it out, but I kind of let you have the lead anyway. This price is just too cheap for McCutchen.
I had no idea you were going to go there. I definitely think that's a very solid cash game option for sure.
Yeah, you just click the button next to his name at that price in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't get cute with that. Like, he's cheaper than Jarrett Parker. That just gives you that's kind of like just insane. You take the talent at that price point in your cash games.
Yep, I definitely agree with you. Outside of him, though, for Pittsburgh, maybe Sean Rodriguez, if he gets a really good lineup spot, he has power against lefties, but I'm not going crazy here. I actually don't mind Moore.
Don't mind Jody Mercer if he gets a good lineup spot.
Oh, yeah, always. Buster Posey, late scratch for the Giants. Lower back tightness, it'd be interesting. If Posey's out, I probably won't have any interest in Moore. I will say that.
If Posey's out, I'm probably going to end up with more Ryan Vogelsong than I should. Just that price, it's just like you could pair him up with Scherzer, and you can get yourself 35 points in pitching. Like if Vogelsong gets you 12 and Scherzer gets you 23, that could be enough on this slate.
I do want to say this game has the lowest total on the night at 7.5. So CJ's not crazy here. I don't believe in Ryan Vogelsong. I've been picking on this guy. I call him Ryan Vogeldong. So I've been picking on him for a long time.
The case, of course, against him is that he's way against lefties, and the Giants are full of lefties. But we're going to ignore that for now.
Brandon Belt, he's in play here, but Brandon Crawford on FanDuel at 2,600. Is he a guy we could play in cash games?
Yeah, I've just mentioned Ryan Vogelsong struggles against lefties, and the price is certainly fair at him at 2,600. Of course, you're getting him at that price because outside of the 7-for-8 game, he's been pretty terrible.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Anybody else from the Giants that we can look at here?
I think all the lefties are in play. Span, Pagan, wouldn't mind any of those guys.
No interest in Hunter Pence under 7K on draft.
I mean, not really. I just that's not an offense if I'm gonna get contrarian in an offense, I'd rather take a stand on San Diego or Cincinnati or even the Mets before I came around to the Giants. So for me, it's just not really going to end up with a lot of guys on.
It's going to wrap it up for the game-by-game breakdown here on the Morning Grind. Let's play some Home Run Derby. No Coors Field. even with Scherzer there, I feel like we could each take 3 Nationals bats still. So no Coors Field here.
Okay, first overall pick, since I know he's going to homer, Mike Trout.
I knew it was coming. I was sitting here. I knew it was coming. I should have just wrote down the name. I'm actually...
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I'm not even worried. First inning, he only takes care of it away in the first inning, too. Just like a 3-run homer immediately. And it's a lot of fancy points. It's perfect.
All right. I don't believe in Ross Duttweiler. I'm going Carlos Beltran here as my first pick.
Oh, wow. You actually left me my boy. So I'm attacking the Marine here, but I'm going to take Nelson Cruz against Ricky Nolasco.
All right. I'm definitely not leaving you Jake Lamb against Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't get both. Oh, well. I just got greedy. Edwin O'Donnell. The one I don't take is the one that's going to homer. Actually, you know what? That's been a little too chalky. Let's go a little contrarian. Let's find a contrarian guy at third base that could go deep. You know what? Let's take Wilmer Flores.
Taking Flores, I like it. That's I hope you actually get that one right. I don't ever root for your home runs here, but I really hope you get that one right because I'm going to have a lot of exposure. Last and final one, I'm going with the cold stick of Ozuna here.
Oh, I hope you're not right, Stevie, because I hold 0 shares.
Ozuna, 333 ISO with a 1.024 OPS against lefties this season. Brandon Finnegan at Cincinnati. Give me a Marcell Ozuna here.
Yeah, and you know what's really nice about Ozuna? When you're fading him in home run picks? Just all those nice zeros in the extra base categories. 1 extra base hit in the month of August.
All right, well, I don't need it. I just need a home run. I don't need anything crazy here. All right, at the end of the day, if you had to pick one pitcher to win, it doesn't have to score the most fantasy points. You had to pick one guy. Who would it be?
Are you allowing me to have Scherzer?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's at 10K. That's why I asked.
I know what he's at, but he's in Coors Field. If that's
I mean, the Washington offense is going to score 19,000 runs, so the answer is Max Scherzer.
Okay, I'll let you go chalky.
I mean, how is picking a pitcher in Coors chalky? This is how bad the pitching slate is.
He's the biggest favorite on the board, and it's not even that close.
I mean, I asked if you could. The rules say like under 10K, so if we play by the rules, it's an interesting conversation.
All right, we'll play by the rules to make it an interesting conversation for the listeners.
Luis Perdomo.
All right, the biggest dog on the slate, Perdomo. Did you see that?
Okay, no, he cannot. See, Stevie, I'm calling you out here. Scherzer can't be the biggest favorite, and then Perdomo can't be the biggest dog. You can't have it both ways. That doesn't work.
It's actually really close. Hold on, let me officially pull it up here.
Let's see.
Jorge De La Rosa
155.
Perdomo's number 2. So you're right. Jorge De La Rosa 175 dog and Perdomo 170.
I don't feel good in Felix and Carrasco. No way Perez or Detwild. I'm not choosing those. As much as I love Ian Kennedy, like he's not ready for anything. Like, where are you gonna go?
I'm going Matt Moore, my friend. Matt Moore is where I'm going. I know you like Vogelsong.
There's all the evidence you guys need right there to pay for Scherzer.
I think it's true. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. But I like Robbie Ray. It's just, that bullpen. They cost me the win with him 5 days ago. So a little salty still.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I would. You got Robbie Ray that day, and that was not a fun bullpen experience.
Oh yeah, it tilted me super hard. He pitched such a good game too. That's what's so annoying. But
and the Mets bullpen too is terrible. Don't let people like. If I hear one more person telling the Mets bullpen is good, like you know how many times Jacob deGrom's bullpen game's been lost by that bullpen. Like, God.
Oh, my buddy Jake. All right. That's going to wrap it up for the Monday edition of the Morning Grind. If you guys enjoy listening to CJ, contact him about some coaching. He does coaching for MLB. NFL's getting here soon. He's going to be doing coaching for that. And how many more Olympic basketball slates do we have? Like, you're winning me cash here. I like these slates.
Yeah, tomorrow is like the one slate. Stay away from tomorrow's slate. Like every team's gonna tank to try to avoid the United States. Like good luck figuring out what the teams are gonna do tomorrow. But the quarterfinals are gonna be a glorious round. That'll be a lot of fun. I think those start on Tuesday, so that'll be a ton of fun.
All right, so we'll look out for that.
Actually, they start Wednesday, which is even better. Yeah, quarterfinals will be a lot of fun. That's like the last really good slate of the Olympic season.
And they can find you on Twitter at the Siege DFS and on Roto Grinders. If you guys want to hit him up for coaching, hit him up. If you guys haven't checked out our sponsor, Fantasy Draft, check out that 5-day Survive in Advance. We'll be back on Tuesday, with Derek Carty. Make sure you guys tune in, and always subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a review and a comment telling us how much you like the morning grind, and have your chance to win a t-shirt. That's going to do us here for Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. Good luck in your contest tonight.